Hi, how's it going everybody? This is Zeno here, and today I am going to be showing off the Arborix Shotgun Champion. It's a bow champion. I've been leveling it, and it's been okay. It's been okay. I'm not going to sit here and praise the build. This build was supposed to be the tanky, the tanky bow character. I have Perma Fortify at the moment, and I also have Conqueror. So let's explain what my Sensei does before I even go into the gameplay portion of this. So if you want to see the gameplay portion, you could skip ahead, but I would recommend coming back and at least listening to this portion. Alright, so when you get Fortify, the nodes leading up to it give melee damage, and in the instances of bows, that is nothing. Feels bad. Also, Unstoppable Hero, it gives melee damage too, which I do not get. Feels bad. But it gives me 10% attack speed. So at least I get 10% attack speed from this entire pathing. Instead, I get a lot of armor and evasion, and I also get Fortify, which you normally cannot get on a bow unless you are a champion, and the same applies to wand attack builds. Instead of going Inspirational or First to Strike, Last to Fall to get damage, I just said, screw it, I'm going to pick up Conqueror now and just get tankier. I wanted to see if this build, like I said in my first tutorial video of this build, I knew this build was going to be rough on damage until I picked up Worthy Foe, and that's okay. I wanted to see if it's tanky enough to just stand still and work it away. Currently, I'm only at 4.6k health. I am using Gloomfang, and I am running Ice Shot. I have thought about using Shrapnel Shot. We have discussed it on stream. I would have to invest into the Threshold Jewel here, which is probably going to be pure talent for this current build. I'll explain that after the gameplay. But I think I'm going to stick with Ice Shot for now. Well, I'd like to hear you guys' opinions. I know Shrapnel Shot is probably the strongest skill for Arborix, but then we take away the chain. It's not as fun. I wanted to have a shotgun effect, where the Threshold Jewel for Shrapnel Shot gives you like that extra burst damage. It also gives you, I'll have 3 projectiles with Arborix. It would change up the whole build. I really wanted to see if Volley was able to carry certain skills in melee range using the Arborix. The Arborix gives me 30% close range damage so long as I have Iron Reflexes, which I do. I do not utilize the far shot of this, and it gives me 2 free proj. Paired up with Volley, I have 5 projectiles. And I also have Point Blank, so we're just going to be getting in melee range with our Fortify, Iron Reflexes, all this bonus damage for being in melee. I decided upon Perfect Form, so I have a 4-linked Arctic Armor because Arctic Armor has 100% reduced armor. Arctic Armor has 100% mana reservation reduction, which means I get it for free no matter what, always. So that means you can link it up. If you didn't know, you can even make it a 6-link. Like I could take these exact things, get a 6-link Perfect Form, and if Arctic Armor could be 6-linked, I don't know what, Empower and Lighten. I wouldn't, not Empower and Lighten, Empower Enhance. I guess we could run that, but that would be like the meme of Arctic Armor. It is free always. I also get Phase Acro, and because I'm using Taste of Hate and its Series Promise, my Taste of Hate will give me armor rating, and here's how. Perfect Form gives you increased evasion rating based off of your cold res. When I pop this, I have 121, which means this gives me 121 evasion rating, to the best of my knowledge. I'm assuming that's how this works. And because it gives me that as evasion rating, I'm running Iron Reflexes, and this also gives me evasion rating. It gives me armor. So there's that. I don't have enough mana right now to sustain Grace plus Ice Shot. I actually can cast now. I have enough mana where I can actually use this skill, but then I do have Mana Leech. I would need to get a little bit more max mana, maybe a little bit more reserve somehow in the tree. I haven't decided how I would do that. Champion the Cause is here, and I would only pick this up if I was going like Puncture and maybe Melee or Leech, so it's not in a good position. We do have Charisma here, which is also in a pretty... No matter which way you go for Charisma, you have to spend 5 points. Feels bad. If you come in from this way to path into this, you have to spend 5 points. If you go up here to Ballistic Mastery, it's 5 points. Charisma's in a really awkward spot because of how strong it was at one point in time in this game. So there is that. So the idea behind this build is I get in melee range and I shotgun them. The reason why I call it shotgun is when I shoot 5 projectiles in melee range, the shotgun in like an FPS or IRL kappa, you get that close range buckshot. So anyone who's ever knows anything about shotguns understands that principle. And because Gloomfang gives me chain for free, I don't have to play a Deadeye or use chain support gem. I also get extra non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage, which does quite well. I do lose life for each enemy hit, which means that Lightning Arrow would probably get me killed. I've almost died already with Ice Shot. And it's a shotgun because a projectile hits a target, makes a cone, flies to another target because it's chained, hits that target, makes another Ice Shot cone. Which, depending on how the auto aim works, you're shotgunning. You're just having all this AoE overlap with projectiles bouncing around. And I have Chaos Leech paired with this Chaos Leech. I get a double dip effect because it's Ice Shot physical being converted 100% to cold. So we also get the elemental damage from this, paired with Taste of Hate, which gives us extra damage. Arctic Armor, Fortify, Taste of Hate, Endurance Charges, Iron Reflexes. I don't take much damage from physical at all, or cold because of Taste of Hate. And I'm resistant to fire as well because of Arctic Armor. So really, it's just lightning damage. I can boost my Chaos here. I'm using Oscar Arm, but I have 2 pieces of gear with Chaos Res, so we're good to go there. I need to replace my belt, a couple of my rings. I need to work with a lot of my gear, and I'm still wearing level 44 boots. So I decided to show you guys the map Arena because this build excels with multiple monsters. So any map that has bosses in a trio, it does quite well with. I was running a lot of Courthouse, that's a trio type boss. Arena is going to be a good one. Believe it or not, even Crystal Ore is okay because they do have P-Link. It still will cause area of effect overlap and chain, so you'll get extra damage. And because they don't die, it's actually... You might need some extra damage when you have the last one up. In terms of single target, I need this. When I drop my Decoy Totem, monsters taunted by my Decoy Totem will make it so I deal 20% more damage, or I get a 1.2 multiplier, basically the damage that is additive with other types. I don't think I have any. Enemies I taunt deal 10% less damage with hits and ailments against other targets. That means my Decoy Totem taunts it, and I will take 10% less damage to myself. And it also make it so the monster takes 20% increased damage. I need this node because I don't have any damage whatsoever. So here's Arena. We'll see how I do. It's kind of awesome looking at a bow and Fortify. I do really enjoy that. Whoops. We need to put on Blood Rage. And I don't run Frost Bomb yet. I need to. I'm aware that I need to. See, if you look here, my single target feels bad, man. Help if I take off that bleed, too. This is a T9 map. The highest tier map I've done is tier 5. So I jumped up 4 tiers for you guys. I'm only level 78. This is a 78 build guide. The map here is 76. So please be aware of that. That means the bosses and I are at the same level. And whenever I make these guides, I try to give you guys reasonable content at a lower level if it is not my endgame guide, just so you guys could see how it fares against potentially equal level content. Decoy Totem is freaking awesome. Alright, let's see what we got here. Here's our first Abyss for the video. Abysses are great for this build because there's just a ton of little trash monsters. Yep, the arrows just keep chaining. I have to watch that. I need to pop my stuff before I engage. Well, that hurt. That sub-fizz slap. And he's berserk. These little dudes can hurt you in the back if you don't take them out. Alright. Coaching Darkness, Appeal. So I am actually taking some pretty hefty damage here. Just because, yeah, I haven't done this tier map yet. And like I said, the rare monsters and things are all the same level as me. Alright, that's this little side area. Let's go onward. Less than 5k health in hardcore. Yeah, I know. Gloomfang doesn't offer any health. That's the worst thing about Gloomfang is no HP, which makes it more softcore oriented. Usually I could sacrifice 1 or 2 pieces of gear without health because strength builds, but I'm not playing a strength build. This just goes to show how much evasion builds get the shaft. Like, you gotta go crit. There's like barely any evasion. Dex does very minimal things in the late game. I think the worst thing about Path of Exile is the fundamentals behind in Dex and Strength are in the worst possible points they've ever been in. With the more and more power creep and more adding to the game, Int and Strength continue to be very strong contenders. And the sad actuality of it is spellcasters don't need accuracy, which means that half of what dexterity provides is already garbage for every spellcaster, which means it's flawed because even attack builds can use int or energy shield. Mana or energy shield. They could still use those things to their advantage through mana leech, guardian, anything CI low life. Spells and attacks can do great with it. And then strength, I don't even need to say anything. You have Iron Will, Iron Grip. You have Brutus's Lead Sprinkler, Pillar of the Cage God, any of those strength memes. And it gives life. So there are people, even if they don't even play one of those meme strength builds, they'll still enchant strength as a suffix because it gives life. Oh, what's that? You're over res cap, get 50 strength on your ring. That's true min max, or attack speed. You know what I mean? So you don't see anybody going out of their way for dex, because unless you're using Shaper's Touch, I mean, you're kind of screwed. Dex is just a meme at this point in time. Man, I'm taking some hefty hits. Bleed hurts. Alright, so boss. Oh. Thought there was going to be a boss. Nope, no boss. Thought it said arena. Maybe not. Nope, we're still just going. And an abyss. And also the secondary part of dex is evasion percent. Like, evasion percent is... So sometimes you take damage and sometimes you don't, or you go iron reflexes, and most spellcasters don't care about either. Most spellcasters just say, screw it, I'm going to stack dodge, Val Grace, and go mind over matter, or there's CI or low life, you know? So, dex really is, honestly, it's just a stat point. It's just a stat point for requirements. Summoners need it, Val Haste and Grace, Hatred, things like that. Oh, you're playing a bow caster build, you need 212 dex. Unless, of course, using like a short bow. But you get the gist. I think dex is something that needs to be looked at, and it's fundamentally flawed. So anytime you try to play a dex build, you have to rely on crit or something else to really help carry you. Alright, so my next ascendancy will be my first damage node, considering right now I only get 10% attack speed because I have Fortify, and I am excited to finally get some damage multipliers. So playing a champion, if you can find a way to get bonus multipliers elsewhere, the champion does fine, but until you get your other multipliers, you're kind of screwed. Alright, so I just... I am out of flasks. Let's get some flasks. That bleed, man. 4.6k HP. Please. Let's get some more flasks. It's okay, we're taking a little break. Yes, come on over. Come on over, friend. Alright, I want her gone. This guy's OP because he just makes a bunch of minions. Let's taunt over here. That bleed. Bum, 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 bum. What's killing me is this trapper. I'm a point blank build. Alright, let's do this. If you get her on the run, you're fine. Alright, he's dead. She's dead. So, as you can see, my single target kind of suffers. Now, to fight this guy, I'm going to swap out in Hypothermia for Volley. Volley's good if you could pair him up. And I really wish I could get some more damage on this build. My single target is the worst thing about it. It's not god-awful, but it's not amazing. And for a hardcore build, I'm okay with it. Keep in mind, people, this is level 78, and the bosses we just fought were 78. Generally speaking, you're not going to be running these until, 85 plus. And I just wanted to show that with very little damage from my Ascendancy, just 10% attack speed, we can do content that you're not yet supposed to be doing in hardcore. I need to work on higher HP. That's the first thing and foremost for my tree that I am honestly suffering on. I'm going to be leveling up this character mostly... I might level up this character after the weekend. I'm going to get this character probably to level 80 today, and I'm going to switch back to my Brutus's Lead Sprinkler Slayer. Brutus Lead Sprinkler Slayer. I'm Ice Crash build. More to come on this character, though. Once he gets to like 85 plus 90, I will make another video to show his damage increase. Hopefully, I'm getting a multiplier to damage, and hopefully he's more tanky. We could be in red maps. So this was a tier 9 arena map, and I'm East, this same exact level as the bosses. I am using Arborix with Perfect Form, Oscarm. If you have any other questions about it, you can see the link below to my profile. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm out. Thanks for watching.